in many ways, the Republican presidential campaign is a story of candidates waiting for Donald Trump and Ben Carson, the two outsiders who are atop the race, to begin to fade away. There's been an expectation for months that they were sort of an aberration, that it couldn't possibly last, that these two guys with no political experience could stay at the top of the polls in the 2016 Republican presidential field. But lo and behold, we have out last night a new Wall Street Journal NBC News poll, and once again we asked Republican primary voters, who are you most likely to support? The numbers are remarkably like the ones we found a month ago. Donald Trump 25%, Ben Carson 22%, Marco Rubio 13%, Ted Cruz 9%, Jeb Bush 8%. As I said, that's very similar to the findings we had a month ago when we also had Donald Trump and Ben Carson at the top. This has been true every month since July, that Donald Trump has been at the top of the field of Republican contenders in our poll, and Ben Carson has been in the top tier since July as well. So at some point you have to conclude maybe this isn't going to be a big fade, and in fact, if you look a little deeper, you find that there are more Republicans who say they could see themselves supporting Ben Carson than any other candidate. So the question for the rest of the field really is, when does the fade begin, or do we have to conclude that there isn't going to be a fade? This is particularly true for a candidate like Ted Cruz, who I write about in my Capital Journal column today, who is positioned to take over maybe some of those Trump and Carson voters, people who want an outside force, a rebel, an agitator, when they begin to fade. But if they don't begin to fade, it's hard to know where Ted Cruz finds the support to push himself up in the standings. So I guess there's probably a while yet. One Republican consultant said to me last week that there's still a window shopping phase underway before people get down to casting real votes. But at some time in the next couple of months, Republicans and the rest of us will have to conclude this isn't a passing fancy. Donald Trump and Ben Carson are here to stay.